Hello my friend, back again with trending viral recaps. In this video I will recap a 2012 adventure drama film that will have you on the edge of your seat. It is called The Life of Pi. An author from Canada named Yan Martel meets a man from India, with some knowledge from Pi's late father's friend, known to Pi as Mamaji. Pi's father named him Piscine Molitor after a swimming pool in France. Pi's honorary uncle Mamaji taught him how to swim, which would later become life-saving. By the time he reached secondary school, he changed his name to Pi as in the Greek letter and mathematics. He was tired of being called Pissing Patel, due to the pronunciation of his name. Pi is raised Hindu and vegetarian, but at 12 years old, he is introduced to Christianity, and then Islam, and decides to follow all three religions as he just wants to love God. His mother is supportive of his approach, but his father is more conservative, and tries to convert him to the rationalist way of thinking.
Are you going to Mecca this year, Swami Jesus? Or to Rome for your coronation as Pope Pius?
Growing up, Pi's family owned and operated a zoo, and he was particularly interested in the animals. In particular, he always loved to spend time with a Bengal tiger named Richard Parker. Pi tries to feed the tiger through the cage bars. His father scolds him for this, telling him that there is still some wildness in Richard Parker, and that he would eat Pi if he could reach him. So his father forces Pi to watch Richard Parker killing a goat to prove his point. School for Pi became repetitive and irrational, like his nickname. He grew restless and was searching for something to bring meaning back into his life. Then he meets a girl named Anandi. Pi's mother made him study music, and one day his teacher came down with the flu, and he asked Pi if he could take his place and play for a dance class. Just as Pi was beginning to experience his first crush with his new friend Anandi, his father speaks about how he's worried for his family's future as the town is going through so much changes that could leave their zoo in distress. So, Pi's father relocates the family by traveling to Canada, and his intention is to settle there and sell the zoo animals. Pi's family books passage on a Japanese freighter named Sensum. 4 days into their voyage, they are consumed by a fierce storm. The ship founders while Pi is on deck. He desperately tries to find his family, but it is impossible to go below deck with the amount of water flooding its chambers. Pi then finds others on deck, and he pleads for them to help find his family. With everything happening so quickly, he gets tossed into a lifeboat from one of the crewmen. As the lifeboat falls into the sea, a frightened zebra jumps onto the boat with him, which breaks its leg when it lands. Not too far away, Pi watches helplessly as the ship sinks, drowning everyone on board including his family. As the ship disappears deep into the ocean, Pi sees what he believes is a survivor barely swimming in the ocean. He yells out to the survivor to reach out to the pole that he is holding, which to his surprise turns out to be Richard Parker, the Bengal tiger. Pi desperately tries to stop the tiger from getting in the boat, but it's too late. Richard Parker climbs in anyway. By now the storm has passed, and Pi is in the lifeboat with an injured zebra and an orangutan who barely survived on a crate of bananas. A hungry spotted hyena emerged from under the covering of the lifeboat and growled at Pi, forcing him to the opposite end of the boat. It killed and ate a zebra, followed by an orangutan, eventually killing it too. Suddenly, Richard Parker bursts through the covering and kills the hyena before launching an attack at Pi. However, Pi distracts it with a rat's corpse so he can escape. Richard Parker then retreats under the tarpaulin and does not emerge for several days. After spending many days on the sea with little food and water, Pi was able to find canned food and chopped wood in the lifeboat. He then made a small raft, which he could paddle away from Richard Parker in order to fish for food. He collects water from the rain for them so they don't die. After the tiger leaps into the sea to catch fish, he thinks about letting it drown but helped Richard Parker back into the boat. One night, a humpback whale breached and landed on the rope connecting the raft to the lifeboat, destroying it entirely. Pi had lost most of the supplies, so he had to eat fish for the first time. He trained Richard Parker and realized that caring for Richard Parker was helping him stay alive. Over weeks, Pi and Richard Parker eat and drink their fill of edible plants found on the island, which supports a mangrove jungle and freshwater pools. They both regain their strength. At night, the island becomes a much more dangerous place. Richard Parker retreats to the lifeboat, and the meerkats sleep in the trees, while the freshwater pools turn acidic and digest dead fish that fall into them. Pi discovers to his horror that the island is carnivorous, and the next day Pi and Richard Parker leave immediately. The boat landed in Mexico some hours later. Pi was crushed emotionally and didn't wish to stay without acknowledging his tiger friend before disappearing into the jungle. Pi is rescued and sent to a hospital. British intelligence agents from the freighter company interviewed the sailor, but did not believe his story. They continued their questioning, wanting to know what really happened. It's important to keep in mind that Pi himself tells the story, rather than any animals or humans. Pi tells this story with his mother, a Buddhist sailor, and the cook on a lifeboat. In this story, the cook killed the sailor to eat him and use him as bait. In a later struggle, Pai's mother pushed her son to safety on a smaller raft before the cook murdered her and threw her body overboard. Pai then took the knife and killed the cook, and managed to survive on the cook's flesh until reaching Mexico. The insurance agents are not satisfied with this story either, but they leave without questioning Pai any further. Then, Yan points out some similarities between the two stories. The orangutan was Pai's mother, the zebra was the sailor, and Richard Parker was Pai. Pai asks the mortal which story the mortal prefers, and Yan says the one with tiger because it is better one. Pai then says thank you, and so it goes with God. Glancing at the report, Yan sees that the agents wrote that Pai survived 227 days at sea with an adult Bengal tiger. They also recorded the first story of Pai's adventures. And that concludes the recap of this video. If you enjoyed this content and would like more, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, leave us a comment on a movie you would like us to recap. Thanks for watching and have a great day.